Good evening, everybody. How we doing tonight? Anybody want to tune in tonight? How's everybody doing? Do a diddy diddy dum diddy do. I can dance like nobody can see me. I can dance like no one saw me. I can sing like nobody's listening. Angie's here. Jennifer's here. Lori's here. And Lori, I thought you were hosting a watch party for something else. Hey, Angie, how are you? Hi, Jennifer. Gwen is here. Melissa. Oh, that's right, it's your day off, Melissa. I saw that. Brandon, Florida. Jana's watching. Yvonne. Yo, Yvonne. Hey, Leslie. I can dance away? How much are you drinking these days? Not nearly enough. I'm conserving. You have to see, we're rationing scotch. Very little left. You know, that I'm excited that we did 10% of a normal Sunday is exciting, you know? I mean, for all the items that we sold today, I'm thankful that we were able to sell them. So I'll take whatever I can get these days to put in the register. Honestly, you know, but you and Dennis aren't drinkers. You only drink at conference. All this has got to be starting to make you want to drink there in Texas. I was just talking to my sister on the way home, and you know, yeah, it's not good. And tomorrow they're trying to start schools there remotely, and it's going to be interesting. Hey, Nicholas has joined us. You missed Nicholas last night. You missed gin night last night. We're back to scotch tonight. But you know, we are there with it. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. I got a good crowd going here early. I guess announcing a time was a good thing. I had too many people reach out and an at-home conference. That's great, Jana. Oh, hey, Michelle. But yes, we are all in this together. Laurel, thank you for joining and tuning in. Yes, I received many requests to have a set time, that you guys are finding these nightly check-ins very useful, and I am glad to be here for you. These are all driven. Keep in mind, my nightly talks about you're not alone running this store are driven by you. I answer things in all the emails that I get all day, all the messages I get, plus updates that I get from various agencies that I'm a part of. So that's how I put together tonight what I'm talking about. I'm here for you, your questions, your answers. And yes, Adele, you know, keeping me on a schedule is tough. It's really hard to get me to finish. Nightly consignor owner therapy. Permission to watch live and drink. Yes, Melissa, yes, we can. We can watch live, we can drink. Bring your cocktail with you. I think all this is going to even make Adele drink at some point, what we're all going through. Because we're all going through this together, and we're all going to get to the other side together. And that's the great thing. And I'm going to have lots of inspiration for you today. Because I find inspiration in everything, and I look for the positive. I mean, Julie talked about it earlier, being the optimist. But Julie and I are really very positive people. Because it's really a better use of energy. You know, and it really helps with everything. Because it becomes, you know, how you get through it. Because it's not about living in your own right now. Oh, that's what I was going to print. Hang on one second. Cassandra, if you get a second, can you print the slide from the thing we did for the bank? The one that asks which one of these is real? Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that interruption. I had a call to my assistant. But we're doing a little bit of everything right now. So we're running the stores, Cassandra and I are working in the stores, waiting at, doing a little bit of everything. So that big drop off today, I took care of all that. And I'm sure when I have staff back, they'll be like, oh, Neil helped. They like to use that in quotes. And stuff. And they wanted me to have a rule today. I sent that, I mentioned yesterday, we have this text chat going where my staff is sending pet pictures to each other. The dogs beat the cats today, so we did have more dog pictures than cat pictures today, which was exciting for me. I know not exciting for you, Adele, because you and Dazzle there. But Jennifer's got Puddles, and so I know some people here are dog people. Melissa's a dog person. But I sent them that drop-off, and they're like, well, now you have to go to make people buy things, one item per basket. They have to at least buy one item per basket of things they bring in as a requirement. And I'm like, okay, I'll put up a sign that says that. And they're like, you can just put up sign? I'm like, I can do whatever, But today was actually kind of funny, because overall, since this started, we've been selling Pebbles? I keep on calling them Puddles. Okay, I'm sorry, I've been calling Pebbles the wrong name. Or, I keep on calling him Puddles. Okay, sorry, Pebbles. You're such a cute puppy. I wanted to take you home with me when I was in Florida. We've been selling a lot of home decor smalls or dish sets or, even dining room tables, because people are stuck at home right now. And, we've probably been doing, what do you call it? Probably 70% home decor smalls to about 30% clothing since this all started. And today we did the reverse. We sold about 70% clothing and only about 30% home decor. So really kind of a weird mix in the way things are going. So, again, having the opportunity to put any money in the register today is a blessing. So let's get to some of your guys' questions and things that have hit my list for today. Hot topic's been the SBA loan. Quite honestly, get it filled out and submitted. Don't worry about having it perfect. It can always be fixed later. It's more important to get it in than to have it perfect. There's been a lot of, well, if I enter this in the wrong column, don't worry about it. They'll fix it. They'll work with you to fix it. Get it submitted. That is the key thing that I am getting from the SBA. We can fix it later. Would you like to buy it, Diana? Sell this country house in Connecticut. Sandra would, especially where we're having to cover the house a lot lately. The big house in Connecticut I could do without. But I appreciate that you love the decorating. I'd like to take complete credit for it. I have nothing to do with the decorating except for getting out of the way. They actually Cassandra asked me tonight whether the background was too distracting and whether I should have a screen up behind me. But I said I didn't think it was too distracting, but I'm not watching it. So hopefully it's not too distracting to you. But yes, so get in the SBA loan, and anything that we need to fix with it, we can fix it later. Okay, that is more important to get in. For those of you that have closed, okay, I know many of you have closed for one reason or another, and keep in mind, this whole thing is a judgment-free zone. There is no judgment. You do what's right for you, your store, your community, your team. That's what's most important. Judgment-free. We are not judging what you should have done or how you should have done it or what was going on. We just want you to do that and be what's safe for you. So, for those of you that have closed, make sure you've set your thermostats down, or depending on what your climate is in your area, adjust those so that they're not there for the store being open. Let's save a little bit of money on things like that when we can. So please take the moment, a little bit of time to go and adjust your thermostats and save a little bit of money because even though the electric companies and the gas companies and everything will waive penalties, they'll take late payments on things right now, you're eventually still going to owe for any electricity and gas that you may use during this time. So if you're not there, please use less of it. I know I have all programmable thermostats in my stores, in all my locations, and the reason I have that is because, one, to control it, because temperature, keep in mind, well, just to talk about why you have thermostats in your store and what temperature you set your store at. You set the temperature not for your staff, but for your customers. Okay, they're looking to be about a 10 degree or so difference from what it is outside, what they came in from, depending on, and that's taking into account their car things. So, you want to take that into consideration. Right, Leslie? Your outside signs, and adjust all those timers and thermostats so that you're not wasting energy, because there aren't the people out and about and doing it. And you just want to keep enough on so that it's safe and that you don't damage your building should you freeze. I mean, we're supposed to get snow here this week, which everybody thought we were hopping right into summer and spring, and a lot of the plows have disconnected, so it'll be interesting how that rolls. Hey, Renee, how are you? Glad to see you there in Tennessee joining us tonight. So that is an important thing. Another thing that has come up is, especially with what's going on, is extending consignment periods. A lot of stores are telling their consigners, especially if they are closing at this point, that they are going to extend consignment periods and expiration dates. Again, it's communication. All of this is communication. So everything you do should be about communicating with all your stakeholders. So your consigners are a big stakeholder. They are the lifeblood of your business. They are your supply chain. While traditional retailers are worried about their China supply chain, your community is the supply chain for your store. So communicating with them on what's happening and whether you're extending periods. Now, one of the things that comes up with that is stores that are doing automatic markdowns. And our friends at the Consignment Software, I know Russ did a post earlier this week talking about how you can, if you're a Liberty customer, you can pause your markdowns for a period of time. And some stores have talked about putting up signs that how the markdowns were recalculated and stuff based on the number of days you end up being closed once that is. The problem with that, and the problem that you may run into, again, depending on your state, is truth in pricing laws. And you have to be very aware of this. While you can make a big sign and explain to your customers and everything, a lot of states would hold you to whatever's on your tag, okay? And they're not likely to have a waiver for that, okay? There's too much going on right now where they're going after people for price gouging and things, for selling Purell for $200 and all that kind of stuff. So with that going on, they aren't going to waive the requirement for truth in pricing. So keep that in mind. We are currently, what we're doing, because we do use automatic markdowns on our tags, the inventory that we're receiving and processing right now, because we're doing it from a backlog usually, and even the big furniture that's coming in right now, we're dating far ahead. I think we're dating right now the middle of April, because we hope to resume more normalized operations by then, hopefully sooner than then, but that is our current hope. Hey, Kitty, thanks for joining us. So that is a big hope of ours, but that's how we're dating it right now, so that the markdowns on those items start later. Some of the other stores that are still processing inventory, rather than putting a date on it, they're going to, for the period of items they're processing right now, they're going to a period of no markdowns on the tag, so that they can get the inventory in, they can get it processed, and then they can have incremental on the tag marked out. They can go manual markdowns on those items or those categories of items. However you do it, just make sure that you don't run yourself afoul of truth in pricing laws, because you're not going to get a waiver on that. You got no chance of getting that passed. So keep that in mind as you're doing it. There's a lot of resources out there for you, and I just want to make sure that you're aware of some of the ones that are both classes, because you have to prepare for a better tomorrow. Okay, we're one day closer to the end of all this, and you have to prepare for business and life after this is over. So you need to take advantage of the resources you have available to you. Okay. Yes, there is an advantage, Kitty, to not having automatic markdowns, especially in times like this. And I'm going to cover actually one of my upcoming webinars on a slow news day. When I have a slow news day and I don't have piles of things to go over, one of the topics I wanted to cover was pricing and markdowns. So so we can have a whole educational component when there's a slow news day. And I'm looking for topics for that so that we can keep this educational movement moving forward. But I'm not going to go into, because I could spend a whole hour just on markdowns and pricing. And I definitely do want to cover that in detail. I just don't want to cover both strategies right now. But I will definitely, I know I predict a slow news day in my future. And when I have one, when I don't have 3 pages, somebody asked me earlier, well, what topic are you covering tonight? I'm like, at the time I had 2.5 pages of notes. I'm up to 4 or 5 here of things to cover today. So, but I have faith that I will have a slow news day coming up. Excuse me. They really shouldn't have mixed allergy season in with a pandemic. I mean, whose idea was that? So classes that are coming up, there's a lot of the service providers that are providing classes this week, free webinars, free information. Traxia is providing a resource on Shopify selling this week, and it applies to all vendors. It applies to really Shopify and online selling on the Shopify platform. As well as you can integrate that with Traxia, but you can integrate it with a lot of other things. You can do it on your own with Shopify. So it's a great informational resource. I believe that webinar is Wednesday. So there is a link for it on the NARTS board, and you can go sign up for that. And you do not have to be a Traxia customer to sign up or take advantage of that webinar. Snap Retail. I know there's a lot of us on here that use Snap Retail as their email messaging source, but they have a webinar tomorrow, and you can sign up for that at snapretail.com on how to sell through email. Okay, yes, it will incorporate some things from their platform, but it's a great way to think about how email can work for you and how you can turn that into a resource for selling, especially in these times. And it doesn't matter what platform you use. It doesn't matter if you're just sending an individual email out one at a time in Outlook, although that's not the way I recommend doing it. But you could use the same things in MailChimp, Constant Contact, Snap Retail, any of those service providers. So just, again, ideas to fill your cup and ways to take you forward. Angie K has posted resources in the NARTS board. She's posted a bunch of graphics that are free, and you can get them at ngk.com for your store. They're great graphics that talk about resale and strolling and shopping online and shopping you when you're not there if you're closed, or if you are still open. She has graphics for that as well. So angieK.com, you can sign up for the free graphics. She has other resources there, like her clothing label resource. If you're a clothing store, is a great resourse. Yeah, you gotta spell it, K-A-Y. Yes, and it's Angie K, ANGIEKAYE.com. So angieK.com. If you go to that, you'll see she's got the links there for you. She's also posted the links in NARTS for the free graphics. She did that phenomenal graphic of me, TV studio me. I was like, where the heck did you get all this? I'm like, the things that are out there on the internet. But and she's just so flipping creative, for lack of a better term, Angie, with those graphics and how she puts them together. But she's committed to us all as resale stores, and she wants to see us succeed. So reach out to her. Even if there's something that's not exactly the way, that doesn't represent your store, just shoot her an email. She wants to help in any way she can. So please reach out to her for that. I posted the link earlier to contact your senators about the bill they're in theory voting on tomorrow. I am not committed that there'll be a full vote tomorrow based on the latest information I got. But we need to keep the pressure on, and these emails matter, okay? In a time where we can't go and shake their hands and sit in their office, because that's what I would be doing right now if I could, okay? Is I'd be sitting in their office, okay, talking about these bills. But these emails matter. Even if it's a straight form letter, you can add a little personalization to it, but the National Retail Federation has this email link, and even if the fact that they count and they got 100 emails that match, that does matter, and it affects their vote, okay? I know it doesn't seem like it, but it really does affect their vote. So talk about that. We talked about consignment periods. Covet, okay, in Boston, is doing a great promotion to get interaction. I loved this idea, okay? Hey, Julie Jankowicz. I'm so sorry to hear about Dan and his big toe. After everything else he went through in the last week, he had to injure himself on top of that. I was just not ready for that. But has everybody noticed I've gotten her name right multiple times here? Just saying. I don't need a pat on the back for that. I'm just happy that I got it right. Okay. But Covet in Boston is doing a really great thing to tie into the community right now. Okay. And she's doing, if you donate at least $5, you have to donate at least $5 to the local food pantry. She has a store in Boston, okay? So if you donate $5, at least $5 to the food pantry, and you send Covet the receipt, even a screenshot of your receipt, okay, to them, they'll mail you a $10 Covet gift card. So donate at least $5, minimum of $5, to the food pantry in Boston is her promotion, and they'll mail you a $10 Covet gift card. So how cool is that? What a great way to tie into the community. And the food shelters are hurting right now. There's no lying about that. The homeless and such are really at risk with all this, and in a lot of areas because of school lunches and other things, there's a real strain on the food pantries. So what a great way to help her community, let her community know she's still there, and have that something for them afterwards. So truly a great promo idea, and I wanted to share that. Kelly's letter to the governor earlier was great, that she posted in Narcs, and a great way to communicate. Again, small business matters. Okay, more than 1 in 4 jobs in this country is affected by retail. Okay, with our supply chain, everything else, more than 1 in 4 jobs in America is that. So these jobs matter. Okay, and they know it, and there are different seriousness of the effects of the virus in different areas of the country, and people have been able to be open in some areas on a limited basis, and other areas they're completely shut down. But, lobbying your legislature in your state, from the governor to your state reps to everybody that you can on the importance of this and what's needed on Main Street is important. So that was a great letter, Kelly, and I really appreciate it. Okay, now I need to work in some humor here because I haven't been really funny yet. Okay, what sound does a dog make? Anybody? What sound does a dog make? You guys have all gone quiet. What sound does a dog make? Nobody? Melissa must have tuned me out already. She knows what sound a dog makes. Julie's supposed to know what sound a dog makes. That's why she had to do her video from her car. Woof, Yvonne. Right. A dog says woof, woof. What sounds a cow make? Right. The dog makes woof. Hey, even Adele the cat person knows that it makes woof. Okay. Bark. Yeah, well, in your house it does make bark. Okay, so what sound now does a cow make? No, a cow doesn't make moo. A cow says woof, woof. Because it has a dog in its mouth. Oh, come on, that made you laugh. That made you laugh. Okay, Oh, come on, Russell. Lily liked that joke. That was funny. Okay, I may not have delivered it as well as the person I stole that joke from. No, the cow says woof because it's got a dog in its mouth. Okay. Kitty's gonna think about that. Okay, Julie laughed. Okay, so somebody laughed. Okay, that's all I needed. Remember, as we work through all this, action conquers fear. So doing something, moving forward, conquers fear. Okay, we need to be focused on your four walls, okay? And in your own world, in your home, that's your food, utilities, shelter, and transportation in a normal world. But we're business leaders, so that means our employees, our consigners, our supply chain, our utilities, and our landlord. But it's communicating with all our stakeholders. I said it every video that we need to communicate. A drinking game incorporated into this somehow. I will work on that. I'm going to put Nicholas in charge of that, coming up with the drinking game. Maybe Nicholas and the Welties can come up with a drinking game that I can incorporate into a future video. I have faith in them. Okay. One of the questions that came up earlier was things are bad where they are, but not awful. Should you cut back? Well, you need to cut back or cut back with a plan. You need to plan that, I mean, even in our world where we're open some right now, okay, we're open on a more limited hours. Oh, Adele knows about these drinking games. We're getting off the rails here tonight, but you need to plan, okay, for that you could be shut down. Okay, you need to plan that you'll have no income coming in. So you need to plan what you're doing now, okay, to address that and to work forward with it and to be appropriate to survive to the other side, both for you, your staff, your consigners. We're all here for the other side of this, okay? There is another side of this. Okay, because, I know I have a lot of people that believe in higher powers, and I do believe in a higher power. I have a lot of prayer warriors in here, and I have a lot of people in this group that believe in a higher power. So, would a higher power have let you know that in this week, in 1979, okay, so I'm stretching back a ways here, right? Okay? I'm stretching back a ways. Some of you weren't even born in 1979. Okay? So I'm stretching back here a little bit. Although I will add that one of the funny things in the news, if you can say funny in the news right now, is that they've talked about how this virus is really spreading among young people. Okay, and they've talked about that in the news, and they said, this is spreading among young people 18 to 54, and I'm like, hey, I'm young now. This is cool. I'm one of the cool kids. I'm young now. And you guys, a lot of you fall into that group too. So we're young. So keep an eye on that, and we don't want it to spread within this group. But I did like hearing I was young. But in 1979, the number one song on the Billboard charts this week, okay, was Miss Gloria Gaynor and I Will Survive. Yes, I Will Survive, the number one song this week on Billboard charts. So, I believe that's a sign, okay? It's speaking to us, okay? It is speaking to how we will get to the other side here. Because as long as you know love, I know you will survive. And I see those hearts going up there, okay? So, I know you will survive, okay? Yes, we will. Okay, because as long as we love resale, as long as we love our customers, as long as we love our team members, we will survive. Okay, and that's what Gloria Gaynor was singing about all this time ago, back in 1979, and when she was number one with Casey Kasem, okay, in America's Top 40 that week, okay? And that's important. Those are important signs. Those are signs that that was on the radio today, okay? Try student pricing laws, programming thermostat. One of the things I've had people ask me about is hey, you know, now that I'm stuck at home, how do you lose all that weight, Neil? You don't look like the Neil that we looked at before. And so people have been asking me, hey Neil, how did you lose all that weight? What diet do I need to start now that I'm stuck at home? And what do I do? So I just wanted to touch on that real quick here, and I have lost a lot of weight. It's actually been almost a year since I started this, and my wife and I are down both nearing 50 pounds, somewhere in that range, and we've been keeping it off, which is really great. And from a guy perspective, because guys are hard to train, guys are, I know I make things look easy and everything else, but us guys we are tough to train, and so Weight Watchers is really tough, and Atkins, and all South Beach Diet that we've done over the years. And we've done them all over the years. But nothing has stuck the way this has, and really worked for us over a long period of time. And so what we're doing is intermittent fasting. And that's been really phenomenal for us, and it's really done quite well by us. And I can't say it enough, because basically all day long during your fasting time, you can have as much water and black coffee or tea. Can you have tea?
Black tea.
Or black tea as you want. Okay. And you can eat whatever you want during your eating window, which, because of the way our day works, we tend to go from like 3 to 9 or 4 to 10 or something like that in the day. But you can have a window. Lots of people have a window that goes from like 1 to 7, 1 to 8. So whatever your window is.
So you're eating for like 6 hours.
You eat for like 6. You can eat for any time during a 6-hour period during the day. Okay, and it doesn't matter what you eat when you eat. And so we've been doing this. Other than the first day or two of doing it, it has been incredibly easy from a guy perspective. Really has not been a problem, because when we do eat, I can eat whatever. And we eat less of it now, in general, because our body wants less of it. And it's just worked out really well. So I can have those chocolate peanut butter cups. I can have my scotch now. I can have a plate of nachos. Huh?
Ice cream every night.
I can have ice cream every night. Now, what's wrong with that? And let's not forget, everything's better with cake. So even a pandemic is better with cake. So you can have cake during your pandemic, okay? It's all okay. It's all good. You're getting a lot of people saying hello to you. Kitty said hello. Julie said hello.
I'm too short. I'm on my tippy toes. Oh.
We're using the mantle as my phone stand. Sorry, guys. But I did want to touch on that, because I've had so many people ask about that. Read, delay, don't deny.
Yes.
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 Delay. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Podcast.
Yes, that's a podcast, I guess. I don't know. I just followed the instructions.
There's a book, and then the
yes, well, I'm just simple. Tell me I can eat during this time, and I'm there. So, Jennifer, Adele, others are saying hello. Cassandra, everybody's doing that. So we talked about that. Let's, on this page, I got to talk about 401k plans. There's a lot of rules regarding 401k plans, okay, and employee contributions and deferrals. So we got to talk about 401k plans if you offer those in your business, especially when it comes into play with laying people off, okay? Okay, so let's talk about them in a few different ways. So employee contributions and deferrals. Contributions are discretionary, and an employee can stop contributing to the retirement account at any time. Employee elective deferrals can be ceased and reduced to zero by an employee from their own pay at any time. Company matching contributions, on the other hand, if your company wants to cease making contributions, example, matching, safe harbor match, or non-elective contribution to the retirement plans, you can generally do this. However, depending on the type of contribution program you have, a 30-day advance notice requirement may apply. Yes, pro tip, yes, Russ, do not look at your own 401k now. This is for the long term. We're all in this game for the long term. You're not there for today. Profit sharing contributions. Generally, a profit share contribution is discretionary, and company can cease making these contributions to a retirement plan at any time. Distributions and withdrawals. Generally, an employee must be on the receiving end of a severance from service to withdraw money from the retirement account. A severance from service occurs when an employee quits, retires, is discharged, or dies. A severance from service also includes a layoff. It may not include work furloughs. So your 401k service provider can help you determine if your employees are eligible for distribution from the retirement plan account. So that's something to keep in mind on whether you're furloughing or laying off. Terminology matters if 401ks are involved. And you should understand, and your employee needs to understand that generally, if they're if they come back on within 12 months of their severance of service, the IRS no longer considers the original departure as a severance of service and may be taxable. A reduction in service may trigger partial plan termination requirements. These requirements include immediate. So this is again, you need to talk to your plan providers if you're offering a 401k before you, and how you handle layoffs, because you may have immediate and 100% vesting of any company-made contributions. So you need to contact your third-party administrator to understand what those requirements are. The Form 5500 filing deadline on March 20th. I just want to make sure I'm seeing. You still have a July 31st filing deadline, or requiring extension if you have a December plan year end for your 401k. But you should be talking to your plan administrator if you're doing anything major with employees and you have 401k in place. The American Retirement Association, along with every other association, is also lobbying Congress for the CARE Act legislation that would help retirement plan sponsors and plan participants through COVID-19. The legislation would help by allowing plan participants to take a hardship withdrawal due to COVID events while still being employed, waiving the early withdrawal penalty. And it would also double loan participant amounts up to $100,000. So that is what's the gist of what's in the CARE Act that the Retirement Association is going for. The tax deadline, again, has been extended for individuals and pass-through entities like LLCs. But company-sponsored retirement plans has not been changed and still must be filed on time as of right now. Yeah, they're hoping... And yeah, so just keep in contact with your plan manager if you have a 401k for your company and you're doing any sort of workforce furlough. Keep that in mind as you work through that. Okay, let me make sure I'm covering everything. Context, cover it. Again, like last night, we talked about in times of crisis, focus on your span of control. You know, I can remain incredibly calm about things, not because of the scotch, but because I only worry about what I can control, what I can affect change on. Okay? And so part of me doing this is helping affect change with all of you and affecting your positive outlook on things. So work on what's in front of you, what you can control, what you can do. Reach out to all your vendors. Again, I can't say this enough. Please do it. I've been helping some of you reach out to your vendors, like your software providers, because you're afraid to ask for help or anything. Again, starting off an email to me that I'm so embarrassed to say, or I'm so embarrassed, or I'm hurt to say, I didn't want to admit, don't worry about this. This does not matter. I can't help you if I don't know about it. And I'm here to help you. You know, I haven't called anybody out except for Russell tonight, I think, and and realized that I've been calling Pebbles the wrong name all these weeks. I've been showing pictures of her and calling her Puddles. So I mean, I'm probably giving her a complex. Although I had a cupcake fascination. Came across the cupcakes when I was there, Jennifer, and those looked really good tonight. So I'll keep you updated on Congress and what they don't do tomorrow, because I really think at this point it's not going to happen tomorrow from what I'm hearing, but they're trying. They're going to come up with something. Don't worry. One of the things that that came up tonight was or came through my inspirational feed was talking about post-crisis, and it was talking about the financial crisis of 2008 and coming out of it, and it was talking about the automakers and how they were all hurting at that time and everything, and many of them, their approach to getting to the other side of it was price cuts. And a lot of you, have asked me about doing discounting right now or having a sale. Well, there's not a lack of demand. People just don't know what to do right now. And during the financial crisis, it wasn't, at this point in it, it was very similar. It was worrying about having a job, okay, for a lot of people, okay? And the American car companies all slashed prices to try to generate demand and to get people in shopping for a car, okay? Hyundai did something different. Does anybody remember what Hyundai did back in 2008? I'm seeing crickets. Cricket.
It sounds like.
That's not what a cricket sounds like? Okay, what would Mr. Brown say a cricket sounds like? I don't know. Okay, well, nobody remembers. That's okay. Hyundai said, didn't lower their prices at all, okay? They said, come buy a Hyundai. If you lose your job within a year, you can bring the car back. No questions asked, no ding on your credit, no anything. Bring the car back. Any guesses on how many cars they had come back? I'm not having a very interactive audience tonight. Maybe I need to go back to mooing and barking. No guesses at all? Maybe I'm having the text feed thing isn't working, because they got to be all doing it. Do you have a guess?
20.
20 cars is my one guess on the table. In all the cars they sold in the country, how many cars came back? Do 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 do. Oh, I've got 100. Do 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 do. 0? None? 5. 5 cars came back. 5 cars out of all the ones they had double-digit increases nationwide in the amount they sold. 5 cars. 5 cars is all that they took back. And I bet you those 5 people eventually bought another Hyundai. Okay? So, look at it that way. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. Okay? That are doing something for them. Price is not a driver. There's always a race to bottom. Okay? There will always be somebody that prices lower than you. Okay? One of my sayings is, when somebody's in, and, I can't believe what a great price this is. And I got to say it today more than once. This, I'm like, that's okay. They let me raise the prices. They don't let me lower them, but they let me raise them. So I can raise the price for you if it'd make you feel better. Okay? But, so they didn't have any go back. The 5 went back. That's it. And that's all they had go back. So keep that in mind as we come out of that. And keep in mind different things you want to talk about, again, during a slow news day. I want to talk about pricing and discounting and things moving forward, because we're going to get to the other side. We're going to get right over to the other side of this, and we're going to all come out stronger and be better for it. We talked about all that stuff yesterday. Talked about Gloria Gaynor. I got here a letter to the president and to members, to Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, and the minority leaders of both the House and the Senate that went out, that was signed on by many retailers, various retail associations, and put out by the National Retail Federation. But this letter was just, again, informing the president and these high-ranking levels of members of Congress of how important retail jobs are, how they represent 1 in 4 U.S. workers, directly or indirectly employed in retail and related businesses, such as manufacturing, design, and logistics. I talked to them about the economic harm from social distancing and mandatory store closures is real, and the layoffs and economic hardships that are following for particularly smaller specialty retailers and brands. And that the biggest issue facing retail right now is liquidity. And that federal stimulus efforts must be swift, flexible enough to address the urgent need for access to money to keep businesses afloat. So it's a real thing. The National Retail Federation's calculated that just a 20% reduction in retail sales over the next 3 months could be cost the economy over $430 billion. So they're getting these numbers, billion. That's a billion with a B, okay? And so it really laid out the concerns well and brought that to them. And again, we're staying front and center with that to keep that in front of people. So let's see. We talked about no judgment. Reminder again, fraud is on the rise. Tomorrow will be the start of a new work week for many, and those criminals will be out there. So keep an eye on your bank account, check it, and look for transactions that do not add up and do not make sense in your world. Let's see. Before I give you my last thing, since I don't want some of you to drop off, okay? I know some of you drop off here when I flip to story time, so I've got one thing that I'm saving. This is like the commercial break, okay, in my presentation, okay, tonight, in my talk. Hang on a second, let's see who I got tonight.
Did you want this paper?
Oh, yeah, I want that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to save this. I'll answer this afterwards, okay? Some of you have seen this before. Okay, and I'm going to try to do this so you can see it. Okay, this is a slide that I've used in presentations before. Okay, and in this slide, it asks you, and so this is what you need to think about while I'm doing my next part, okay, my intermission. Okay, which of these didn't happen, okay, in our business life? Okay, a dumpster fire, vandalism, a pregnant customer's water breaking in the store, the copper stolen out of our AC units in July, the bomb squad, moving, embezzlement and theft, shut down by the fire department, lawsuits, attempted murder. Which of those things has not happened or did happen are real in our business life? Think about that, okay? Those are all the things that are on that slide. Which of those really happened or didn't happen? Okay? Think about that during this intermission break. And since I was thinking about Jennifer's Cupcakes in Florida, If You Give a Cat a Cupcake is tonight's book. Okay, is Lily ready? Do I get Lily in my audience tonight? If you give a cat a cupcake. Oh, this was originally to Thomas. Happy birthday, love, Mrs. Shaw. And it was for Lily and Petunia. So this is really for Lily. Lily's got to hear this book. Lily and Petunia with love. And for Donna and Phil Hinko. If you give a cat a cupcake. If you give a cat a cupcake, he'll ask for some sprinkles to go with it. When you give him sprinkles, he might spill some on the floor. Cleaning up will make him hot, so you'll give him a bathing suit. A cat in a bathing suit? And you'll take him to the beach. He'll want to go in the water. Oh, that is a big mess there. And he'll build a sandcastle too. Then he'll look for seashells. He'll find a few other things as well. Oh my God, he's making a mess. He'll put them in his pail and try to pick it up, but it'll be too heavy. He'll decide he needs to work out at the gym. First, he'll warm up on the treadmill. Then he'll lift a weight or two. He might even try a karate class. Hi-ya! After the gym, he'll want to go to the park. When you get there, he'll see the rocks. He'll climb as high as he can go. At the top, he'll see the lake. He'll want you to take him rowing. He'll be the captain and you'll have to row. Then he'll notice the merry-go-round and want to go for a ride. He'll want you to go for a ride too. You'll choose the horse with the purple mane and he'll get on the whale. The whale will remind him of the science museum. He'll ask you to take him there. First he'll find the dinosaurs. Rawr! Then he'll visit the Hall of the Apes. When the museum closes, you'll be the last to leave. On the way home, you'll pass by the beach. You'll help him gather all of his things. Then he'll want to race you. When you get home, he'll empty the sand from his shoes. He might spill some on the floor. Seeing the sand on the floor will remind him of the sprinkles. He'll possibly ask you for some. And chances are, if you give him some sprinkles, he'll want a cupcake to go with them. So, yes, that is what happens if you give a cat a cupcake. And I even see that I kept most of you with me tonight through the cat and the cupcake. And I didn't even have as many voices for the cat and the cupcake. But I didn't also need to take a breath and a break in between with the cat and the cupcake. So the question was, which of these didn't happen? The dumpster fire, the vandalism, the pregnant customers water breaking, the bomb squad, the copper stolen out of our AC in July, embezzlement and theft, moving, shut down by the fire department, lawsuits and attempted murder. Which of those did not happen? Okay, I was backwards. Sue Arnett says none of them happened. Kitty said it wasn't attempted murder. That couldn't happen. Any other guesses? This has become a quiet bunch now. Going for the attempted murder one, huh? So that's what you people think didn't happen. Embezzlement. I've got embezzlement. I've got votes for embezzlement and attempted murder. Anything else? No other guesses. Okay. So the truth is, every single one of these things on this list has happened to us. Every single one. Okay? Oh, Adele, every single one of them happened. Okay? That is the joy of an entrepreneur. That is the joy of a business life. Every single one of those things has happened to us at some point in our 22-year business life. And why do I bring that up? Why is this list of all these various things that have happened to us over 22 years important? It's because just like this virus, any one of those, okay, sound pretty bad. The bomb squad, copper, that was 30-something grand. Vandalism, law shut down by the fire, all of those are pretty big things. Even before you get to attempted murder, okay? And not only because you never know, Kitty, okay, but because any one of those things, okay, if I sat down and I was having coffee with you or a scotch and said, oh my God, our business, I just can't, we're done, okay, we're done for. We're going to we're going to have to close. Any one of those things, you'd be like, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I totally get it. Okay? Okay, you had the bomb squad and a bomb at your store. That, I can't even imagine. Okay? Totally cool with you closing. Okay? You were shut down by the fire department. Of course you have to close. You had an unthinkable $35,000 copper stolen out of your AC. Okay? While you were at conference. Okay? Of course you have to close. There's no way you'll be able to reopen from that. Okay? Somebody embezzled lots of money, or, of course you'd have to close. Somebody tried to actually attempt to murder you. Of course you have to close, okay? Any one of those things could have been the definition of our business. Any one of those things could have defined us. All they are is a footnote in our story. And as we get to the other side of this, COVID-19 will just be another footnote in our story. Okay, and it will be a footnote in all of yours. It is a footnote that we will all share in our story as we get to the other side. Okay, because it's about getting to the other side. It's about continuing to move forward. Don't stop moving forward. Never stop improving. Never stop moving forward. And as Casey Kasem said, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. Okay, because we're all in this together, and we're all reaching for those stars together, and we're all going to get to the other side together. And sometime if you want to buy me a martini, I'll tell you about the lady who tried to kill me legitimately. And I'll share that whole story with you because it freaks people out. But I can laugh about it because it didn't define me. It's not who we are, and it's not what defines what we are. We will get to the other side of this, and it's so exciting when we do because we're all going to this party together. The party on the other side, okay? So remember that you are not alone running this store. I am there with you. I'll be back tomorrow night to answer your questions, but for me to have questions to answer, you have to email me. You have to contact me on Facebook. You have to post them and say, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I am there for you. I will answer them. I'm there with you each and every step of the way, and I'll be there till we get to the other side. And I will keep on my feet on I'm not always good at keeping my feet on the ground, but I'll keep reaching for the stars and let you know that you're not alone running this store. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.